NIKKI Lee on the internet and Facebook, and when they look me up, they say, we can't find you, NIKKI Lee. So I was like, all right, my name is Nicole Lee. I didn't give myself that name. They kind of branded me.
NIKKI Lee.
Right, so if you walk down the strip and you ask someone, like, who do you work for? How do I do what you're doing? And they say, well, you have to contact NIKKI Lee. And people usually look me up and they can't find me because that's not my name.
That's
But
so
Nikki.
funny. It is The Buzz, Blog Talk Radio. Ace Michaels, your host for the show that you love. Thank you for sending your heart emoticons. I love that. Saying that you love the show makes me feel good. It makes me feel like all of this good work has come to fruition. Something has been, put to test. Makes you feel really good. If you ever want to be on the show, you can. You just call 702-540-3498. You can schedule your appointment to be on the air. If you would like to email, hey man, you can email. It doesn't bother me. You can email us beyondthebuzz@yahoo.com. So this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, and I hope that military people will chime in on this particular one. I want to talk about ISIS. Just a couple days ago, right before the 4th of July holiday, there was a bombing in Baghdad. 150 people were killed in this bombing. And my heart goes out to anyone who is friends or relatives of, that whole situation in Baghdad. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. However, I want to know this. How is there ISIS? How is it even possible that there can be a network that's so big that they can threaten the United States and Russia and France? And I mean, they're all over the place. ISIS is like freaking roaches in your kitchen right now. Like you turn on the light and it's damn ISIS everywhere. ISIS. You know what I'm saying? But how is that even possible? When if I make a phone call, it can be traced. If I go to the grocery store, I'm on a security camera. If I park my car somewhere and accidentally leave it, my computer can tell me, oh, hey, dude, you left your car at the stadium. So how is it possible that there's this faction that everyone hates? Everybody's trying to get ISIS. There's no one sitting around going, yo, dog, I'm down with ISIS. You know what I'm saying? So how is it possible that every major country in the world is after this organization and nobody can find them? I'm watching CNN the other day. They're like, oh, this just in, a video from ISIS. Well, who gave it to you? Stop that motherfucker. If he gave you the video, he's probably with ISIS. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him leak. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, dude, come back here for a second. Let me see the bottom of your shoes. You got ISIS on your shoes. Arrest him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it possible that they're everywhere and they're nowhere at the same time? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's keep it real. In this country, we can even find a damn father that doesn't pay his child support faster than we can find ISIS. ISIS we can't find? I don't know. It's a little too curious for me. If you have some thoughts on it, I'd love to hear it. I want to have a conversation about ISIS. Where in the hell and who in the hell are ISIS? Some people have said, conspiracy theorists have said, it's a made-up thing. It's to make us, look the other way while they do what they do. I don't know. I don't know about all that. Just like them planes hit those towers. I don't know. But I want to talk about it if you've got a thought on it. Today on my show, NIKKI Lee is here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, boys, rev up your engines, get them started. Make sure you get a chili dog on your way out. NIKKI Lee is here on the show for the first time. She's never been on my show. I'm going to try to go easy on her. I saw a little body language change. I was talking about that ISIS stuff. She was kind of like, what did I get into? NIKKI, welcome to the show, darling.
Thanks, Ace. Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure. Now, you've got a fascinating story, and I can't even begin to start to tell it properly, so I'm going to let you, please, give us the rundown on who NIKKI Lee is and how she came to be right here today.
Great. Again, thanks a lot for having me.
My pleasure.
My favorite part is really telling my story because it's pretty incredible.
That's all our favorite parts.
So I'm originally from Connecticut, and in Connecticut you're either rich or poor, and we were definitely poor. Okay. And my parents told me, you know, you have to go to school, get an education, so I did just that. I went to college and I majored in criminal justice.
Nice.
I got out of college.
Kind of an oxymoron, though. Criminal justice. Okay, but we'll probably come back to that. Hello.
And you know, I was going through the motions of what my parents taught me, but I think deep down inside, I've always been an entrepreneur. Since I was 15, I've sold beef jerky and bubble gum, pencils, pens, anything that kids need in school. And I pretty much had a wad of cash at all times, bike parts, and you know, anything kids needed in school, I've always sold it. So I think truly I was always an entrepreneur since, you know, since the start of school, really. Mm-hmm. And so criminal justice, I became a correction officer in maximum and minimum security prison in Connecticut. And now,
correction officer, that means you're the one walking through the halls kicking people's ass and hitting them with the stick and stuff?
Yes, I like the rough stuff.
You're correcting that. Just by the way, if you ever run into a correctional officer, chances are you're the one getting corrected, not the officer. That's real talk right there. Wow. That's a great name for it, a correctional officer. Look at you. I'm going to send your correctional officer down there. Okay, everything is correct now. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So they laid me off without notice, and I didn't have a plan B.
Which was correctional for you.
That's correct.
Right.
So I had $500 in my pocket, and I picked up everything, including my 2 young kids.
Now, second, were you good at being a correctional officer?
I think so.
Do you think they let you go because you're kind of hot? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that works in the correctional world too well. You're trying, you know what I'm saying?
I was in a lottery. It was 100 people they laid off in Connecticut, and I was unfortunately one of those.
Did you know any of the other people?
I did.
That got laid off?
I did.
You know they got laid off?
I did.
They didn't just wait till you left and they was like, oh no, hey man, they hired me back at the correctional facility. I don't know. Hey, you know, but you're very hot. So I'm trying to picture this in my head. So you're walking through what, a prison?
I am.
Like a state prison?
That's right, all geared up.
No.
Yeah.
Damn state. What? What are you wearing? Like the little Daisy Dukes or something? What do you mean you're walking through prison?
A uniform with all the equipment, a 30-pound belt with all the bells and whistles that I needed.
Where is this happening? This is like the dream prison. This is like what prison. This is why people rob banks. They hope they're gonna have that. Oh yeah. Okay. So correctional officer. Oh hey, I've been bad, officer. Come on down here to cell block J and correct me. Here's my hands. Come on now, really? This is in Connecticut?
Yes.
You got proof? You got pictures you can send us?
I do.
This I want to see.
Okay.
Of you with like what, some handcuffs? You got like a big baton thing going on?
I still have the uniform.
Not the Halloween version of the uniform.
No, my
You got the real deal?
I have the real deal.
You're a married lady, right?
Yes, I am.
See, I want to see, where'd you meet your husband? She's like, he's the warden.
My husband's a professional fighter. He
would have to be.
He's an MMA fighter.
Of course. As many noses as he's going to have to break. He better be professional, man. Jeez Louise. So how'd you meet him?
I met him in Vegas.
Of course. This is just going right down the road. I don't even got to do this interview. This is right down the road. So he's in Vegas fighting.
No, he was a poker dealer at that time.
I love it. Okay, great. And so he meets you, and you're down on your luck already because you got ousted from the correctional facility job, which how you managed to get that job is a mystery all to itself, because I can't imagine you walking through a prison looking like that. Wow. So okay, so you're in Vegas, you meet your husband, mm-hmm. right?
Yes.
And you don't know he's your husband yet.
That's
right.
Correct.
What kind of magic did he use on you?
I don't know.
Was it one of those you knew he was the one type things?
We locked eyes. He was dealing poker, and I think he was dealing. He didn't take his eyes off me.
Well, that's not good. Then he got canned too, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. He's a poker dealer. He's not watching the table. He's watching the hot correctional officer walk through the. Yeah, I can see how that. So anyway, so you guys met. I'm just playing fun, obviously. So you guys met. He's what's his name?
Charles Lee.
Charles. So Charles, Chuck, Chaz says to you, "This is it. You're the one. You guys hook up. Ba-bam. That's hot. That's like a dream story right there. That's really hot. That's like the we'll be right back after. Make sure you keep watching Lifetime Television for more of these fictional stories that are blah, blah. Okay, so then you do your thing. Now we get to the meat and potatoes. Now you are doing several businesses here.
I am.
So you're an entrepreneuress.
That's correct.
Very nice. And tell us a little bit about that. And with enough of my fooling, now it's time to get serious. We're talking about business now.
So when I came to Vegas with $500 in my pocket, I asked around, what do people do here? They said, you know, a lot of us, we play poker.
Right.
So I went to a low-limit poker table and started grinding away, knowing that I had 2 kids to feed. I didn't have a choice but to scoop the pot. So I got very good with poker. And
off of this only $500?
Only $500.
You went with 2 kids, you played poker with the $500 you had left?
I was able to grind to about $5,000.
Wow.
Low limits.
And you realize you could have not grinded to nothing and been, that's a do with a whole another story today. That's
when the smiling, the hustling, and the, you know, really taking advantage of Las Vegas comes in.
Well, somehow, I'm just thinking that somehow your experience as a correctional officer made you a much better hustler than had you not been a correctional officer.
Absolutely.
Nice. And so you got it up to $5,000, which is good. $5,000 in Vegas goes a long way.
It does.
For at least a night. And then, unless you want to get into a club, then that $5,000 is not going to do you so good, especially if you're a guy. But that's a whole other story.
That's right.
And so then you got the inkling, you got the idea to start some businesses, right?
Yes, and then, you know, I have a little bit of money to move forward, and a lot of promoters on the strip, because I'm out in the street, sneakers and jeans, trying to figure it out, and a promoter came up to me and said, you know, the money is at promoting strip clubs and nightclubs in here in Vegas. Right. So I did just that. I started going out, stopping people dead in their tracks. You ready to go to Hustler? You ready to go to Crazy Horse? You ready to go to Treasures? Loading them into the limos. And before you know it, I'm putting 100 to 200 every single week myself into Larry Flint Hustler Club, where I was able to meet Harry Money, who is the owner of Hustler, and he became my mentor. And he had told me, if you ever want to make a lot of money, you have to delegate jobs and tell them exactly what you do. Exactly. And I wake up the next morning and I have 200, 300, 400, now 1,000 promoters under me. So
you got your own little small team of ISIS army working for you. And I would have never known how that happened. Now there's 2 things you said that are super, super important. First of all, everything you said was awesome. But these 2 things I want to focus on. One, you met your husband at a poker. No, I'm kidding. The one thing is, you said that you started doing this business, right? And you hadn't known anything about it, but you got a mentor. So you were obviously coachable, as they say, right?
Yes.
And you know what? This is what dumbass people really annoy me. Like when somebody who's rich and has made it is telling you how to get rich and make it, that's when you listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, too many people are like, yeah, man, this guy was trying to tell me how to flip houses. And I was like, man, I think you probably trying to get my money. Yeah, give him your money because he's telling you how to flip houses. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to flip them. You know how to flip burgers. Learn from a guy who knows what he's doing, right? So that was a good thing you did. So you started learning from somebody who knew that business. And then the second thing you did that is awesome, this changed your life, by the way. You realize?
Yes.
No, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I'm telling you about your life. This is what changed your life, sweetie. You leveraged other people's efforts. And this is where it just gets super smart. If you know that, I think it's Tom Sawyer, a story about Tom Sawyer. It may be Huck Finn or Tom, one of those dudes from the, the deal was that his grandma says you got to paint the fence, right? So he doesn't want to paint the fence. So what he does is he takes the paint out there and he starts making it look really fun. So all the neighborhood kids are like, hey, what are you doing, Tom? He's like, oh man, I'm painting a fence, but no, you can't do this. I got to do this on my own. And they're like, well, can I help you? No, man, this is for, you don't want none of this, dog. This is real talk. And pretty soon, 5, 6, 7, you know, it's kind of a ghetto neighborhood. There might be like 50 kids, all by the same dad. So they're all there. They're all painting the fence. And Tom is now sitting back, eating an apple or whatever they did back in the broke South days, right? And just watching everybody do the work. Well, that's leveraging other people's efforts. And so that's what you did. So now you have this small army of promoters who go out. How do you manage 1,000 people, though? Oh, because you were a correction officer.
That's right.
Now it all comes full circle. Now I get it. Wow. So you manage this 1,000 people?
I do, and
Wow.
I love helping people, and I feel that if you help people, by default, you'll be helped. And I really feel that that's the reason that I've succeeded and I've been able to build such a large army, in your words.
So if you have 1,000 people that work for you, at some point, I mean, you got 300, and then you got 500, and then you got 600. I mean, how do you know what number 672 is doing today?
Well, that's funny you should say about the numbers, because they're actually all numbered. So I number all of them. I take all of their information down, right down to the 1099, to the tax information. It's very, very organized. We've set up Google Documents where everyone can see everything that's going on, including the nightclubs, strip clubs, pretty much everywhere in Vegas. So we're all on a shared document. So the promoters can see the confirmation. We can see the confirmation. I've set up a dispatch office that can see, where the limos are at and such.
Now, this is a dumb question, but, I'm prone to ask them. So just get prepared for that. Is this hard?
It was at first. There was a lot of changes. A lot of clubs have a battle with, I'm going to pay out this much and I'm going to pay out more, and there's always some kind of a strip club war where you just kind of don't know where to go, and you kind of have to ride it out, and that's where the helping people comes in. Okay, what's best for us? What's best for the club? And I think a lot of the clubs and strip clubs know me because of my honesty and integrity and my strength to run such a large street team.
And so running a street team, now I always ask people that are successful this, because to me it's a question that tickles me when I think about it. But like, do you think, Nikki Lee, that you were successful because you're just that damn lucky and that damn good at what you do? Or do you think that anybody could just follow the rules and could have done it? You get what I'm saying? Like, is this something that's akin to your just being awesome? Or is this something that really, if you just follow the 1, 2, 3, and you could do it too? Anybody could do it.
I think you definitely have to put in the work. Anyone can do this. It's just that I put in the work, I put in a lot of time, and I learned a lot through trial and error. And that's why I've been able to sustain, a team. And
it's not anything that you're resting on. It's not like you decide, well, today I'm going to work, tomorrow I might not work. You know what, let me check in and see if I'm going to work. Like, that mentality won't work. You got to be in this to win it, and you obviously are in it to win it.
I actually sleep with the phone right there on my chest. I have to have the phone right there when I go to sleep. If someone calls, I have to answer the phone.
And what's the end game with this? Are you hoping to one day be the ... The
end game. Well, I love people, and I love the customers, and I always look what's right for the customer, and that's something that I ventured off into with the travel industry, because the travel industry is an $8 trillion industry. I never realized it's not only in Vegas, it's all over the world that you can promote, and that's when I teamed up with Mr. David McCovey, who was a
That's
promoter
scary
here.
thing. Now, you know it wouldn't just be in Vegas. If it's the travel industry, you know it's all over the world they traveling to. I just had to make a joke. I'm just being a goof. But so you hooked up with David McCovey,
who's an entrepreneur in Vegas. And again, I was coachable and trainable,
right?
And learned, you know, he's just a regular guy. If he's doing big things and making the money he's making, I can too. So I'm very coachable, trainable, and he's been my mentor for a good year now.
And now, have you run into people who are trying to do the same thing, right? They start off in the same lane as you, but then they're not coachable, they're not trainable, and now, even just a year later, you're able to look back and see the carcasses on the side of the road because they did it to themselves. They could have just been trainable or coachable and look where they might be today.
Yes, and again, I think the hardest part is really getting started. And I think a lot of them just don't get started in their mind, in how they think. And a lot of it has to do with self-limiting belief in themselves. They can't get this going for whatever reason. So really, they never even go over the starting line.
So when you say self-limiting beliefs, are you a big believer in this whole, like, The Secret and the power of intention and the whole nine yards?
I am.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I believe in vision boards and really feeling how you want to live. My husband puts affirmations in the shower, so when I'm taking a shower,
and there's nothing weird about that.
When I'm taking a shower, on our shower, it's see-through, so you can see everything, and there's affirmations right on the shower. So when I'm washing my hair and everything, I look and I can see all those affirmations, and I'm basically saying all of them. And then, you know, right at the end of my shower, it's really hot and relaxing, and it feels really good. But what my husband does is he comes in the shower and turns the water from hot all the way to cold, and basically wakes me up and shocks me. So, and I think he learned that from Tony Robbins, but
wow.
It really like wakes me up, and it's like, okay, I got it together. I'll get my day started.
You have effectively ruined any future friendship he and I could have, just so you know. Like, that is not gonna go down, homie. I'm sorry. You do that stuff with Nikki. You mess with my shower, homie. My shower better stay hot 24/7. But that's awesome. So did you guys build this business together, or does he kind of have his own business interests and you have your business? And
he's never been an entrepreneur. I believe that I brought that out of him, which is where the professional fighting came in. I told him that you really need to follow your passion and your dream and what you want to do. And he actually ended up just quitting the poker dealing and going into professional fighting. We went through 13 fights. He only lost 2, only because he cut his foot 2 days before his 2 fights before the last, and had about 15 stitches in his foot, and we fought through it anyway.
Oh wow!
Because I'm the manager, and I'm not going to say no to fighting.
and this whole thing with the fighting and the showering and the messages and stuff. So your husband, you obviously are still into him since from the beginning. Like, you guys are like still hot for each other's cookies and stuff, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And that's important, right? Because if you're going to be with somebody for life, you should be hot for them for life. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because they say, like, the physical attraction goes away. That's what they say. I don't know that to be a fact, but I'm just saying that's what they say. But with you guys, you're able to work together and still have, you know, cuddle up time, and then you have children too, right?
Yes.
And so the children don't get in the way of that. So that's an ideal thing. So that's like, again, this is like the Lifetime movie.
That's correct.
Wow. And so, okay, so what else from there? How does the story end? It sounds great.
So
I'll buy a ticket.
Where we're at today, well, we are in Evolution Travel, which is the company with David McCovey, and it's a travel agency. You can become a travel agent, full-on travel agent from home, and book airfare, hotel, cruises, concert tickets, sporting events, pretty much anything. You work right from your home, and we train you how to do that. And my husband is actually the network marketer, and he's the one that now builds the team of travel agents. So I do all the booking for corporate, for churches, for pretty much a lot of groups, and the conveyor belt of Vegas.
Right.
And he builds the team of travel agents. So yes, we work together very well, and we've been able to build our team to over 300 in just a matter of 4 or 5 months.
You guys, I mean, I haven't met your husband, obviously, but you guys both sound like you're very rational, level-headed people, which is probably why it's so successful for you both. I mean, you guys, he's got a fighting career. You've got a business with 1,000 street team promoters, and then you've got this business with 300 people. I mean, needless to say, you are obviously the American success story. Let's do a role play. This is an argument with you and your husband. Let's see how this works, because I really, people need to know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got to save people's relationships here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm your husband. I'm like, honey, have you seen my razor? Where the hell are my damn razors, honey? You know I got a thing to go to. I can't go all scruffy. What the hell? And you say what?
Is this before the shower turning to cold?
Yeah, this is after the shower's been cold now,
okay.
and the whole thing, like, you know what I'm saying?
So, you know, the best thing that I think when in a marriage is to basically serve your husband. And
woohoo! All right, that's it. We done. No, I'm kidding. Wow.
And, you know, he may be frustrated. It has nothing to do with me. Just, you know.
It couldn't have anything with that attitude. It wouldn't have a thing to do with you. He's happy with you. Everything else is bleak.
Thanks,
Go ahead.
Ace. Thank you, Ace. So, you know, basically just, you know, take care of what he needs because we're there for each other. And, you know, if something's frustrating him, it's best to probably separate until your significant other is in a better mood or thought about, you know, what they're really angry about. Or ask, you know, do you need any help? Maybe a kiss, a hug, something to make them feel a little bit better. Maybe some positive enforcement. You know, hey, we're gonna do this today. We're gonna be okay today. Or, you know, and a lot of communication. Hey, are you okay? Is there anything that I can do for you? Or need me for anything? And I think really the communicating and really affection is really important. You know, a kiss, a hug, a smile, that can go a really long way in a relationship.
See, now I don't know nothing, but I know that what you said is true. Like that right there, he's a lucky guy. And if he's got that going on at home, that's great. So that's how it works. So the two of you. Now you said something about, you know, taking care of your husband, and a lot of times women might be on the show and they go, well, look, you know, I'm not his slave. I mean, I'm his wife. I'm his equal, or even better, I'm his queen. So do you think that serving your husband makes you less of an assertive woman in any way?
No, because again, I'm really about helping people, and that goes right with the marriage. If you help your husband, he's going to just help you back by default, and I really feel that. I believe that, you know, in my life, the more I help people, the more I get helped. And that's with the relationship too. The more I give him, the more he gives me. And it's just, I don't think we've ever had a really bad fight. We just separated and came together, and then, you know, you have good sex and everything goes away.
And let me tell you something. Girls like that stuff, man. So, Nikki Lee, how do we find you? We want to pleasantly stalk you on the internet now. People want to become fans of everything you're doing. What do they need to do next?
Sure. Well, I'm on every social media you can think of. Nicole Lee. Nikki Lee. Wivish is the name of my promotions company. It's what happens in Vegas. It starts here. WHIVISH spelled out. And if you'd like to work with me as a promoter, you just need to be coachable and trainable. And you can contact me at any social media. Also with Evolution Travel, if you'd like to become a travel agent, and again, you're coachable and trainable, we can bring you on board as a travel agent. Or if you're interested in building a team of travel agents, we can also show you how to do that with Evolution Travel. And you can contact me at 702-573-1962, and that is my personal cell phone number.
And that is what's up. Thank you guys for watching the show. Listen, like I always say, live the life you love, love the life you live. It's the buzz, baby.